No, now we upon a question here. The number one question that I get on almost every single video without fail, even on Instagram, people are DM me, is who is the builder? People. Hi everyone, it's Cabell. Welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, welcome back family. And if you are new here, I am so happy that you're here. My voice is battling for its life right now. This is the best I've sound all week. So I said, let me go ahead and make this video for you. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some of my most frequently asked questions from the various videos I've posted on YouTube thus far. And they are in regards to the house that I built in Jamaica. I went ahead and categorized the questions into 3 groups. The first one has to do with my building team. So who's the draftsman, who's the builder, who's the window guy, etc. The second category has to do with the general specs of the house as well as the costs associated with the house. I do have a cost breakdown video, so you should check that one out if you want something more in detail. And the last one is just miscellaneous / general questions on the house. Okay, so here we go. I have my laptop here ready to go. I want to make sure that I have the questions correctly. So the very first question that I'm going to answer is who did my windows. His name is Spoon. I'm going to drop his contact information right here. Please do not call a man and tell a man say Cabell from YouTube send a note, because he's going to be like, huh? Who? Because no one knows me as Cabell. Them know me. If you're going to contact them, just simply say someone recommended you based off the work that you've done for them. These things you really have to compare prices, because you might feel like getting it done custom made by someone that you know will work out cheaper, but then when you crunch the numbers, going with probably Alcor is probably cheaper than you going with the person where you know in their area. The most popular questions that I get is who is the draftman? No, those plans were drafted in 2020. Even though you don't know by now, what I'm gonna know in this video, my dad is the person who have all the links them to the people I'm gonna use. Alright, I spoke to him and I told him how many people have asked me for the draftman's number, and I will list his information here if you would like to speak to him and just hear the prices. I'll just know though, like a lot of architects, they charge you a fee based off how much square footage the building is that you're trying to build. So even though I'm giving you the numbers of these people, Google can also be your very best friend, where you are Googling draftsman architects in your area and calling those people and getting prices and seeing some of the works, like as opposed to just following some YouTuber. No, now we upon a question here. The number one question that I get on almost every single video without fail, even on Instagram, people are DM me, is who is the builder? People. His name is Brown Man. So if you ever see that person that put more, just know say him below us, okay? And believe it or not everybody wants information on the internet. I know this is not the answer you wanted, and I can understand why someone would want their information to be shared on the internet. What I would hate is if I recommend someone to all of you and you don't have the experience that I had, or even better. That would literally devastate me, honestly. And so I'm kind of glad still. Maybe I should have said that. If it changes, I'm not going to get a keep. If not, no hard feelings. What I can recommend is that go in on a scheme, go in other areas, look at the people building the house and look at the quality to which it is being built, and see if you can talk to those owners or the men on site. You can never tell. So another question I got was, who's the project manager? Well, hate to break it to you, but you are looking at her. And honestly, being your own project manager takes a level of confidence that needs to be studied. Or maybe not a confidence and a delusion. I was responsible for all the decisions that were made for my home. So if me want the house painted in black, me responsible for that. Almost every single thing on that house I chose, except for the ugly paint color and ugly tile. Let's now go into the general specs on the house, as well as some of the costs associated with the house. So the property is located in Portmore, St. Catherine. It is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 living room, and kitchen. It is about 534 square feet, and it took a 1.5 years to finish building. The water, the lights were connected last December. Already share with y'all a tip where you should not connect the light and the water until you are close to moving in or the place is close to being occupied, as you will get a bill from JPS and you will get a bill from Water Commission even if you're not using the water. Can't say I never want to know. So one of the questions that I got is how comparable is the cost of the pre-mix cement versus manual labor to do the decking? Excellent question. So this question I know came from the video that I did with the cost breakdown, where I explained that the next time I'm going to do the decking, I'm going to do pre-mix instead of manual labor. It's going to be very important for you to look at the cost breakdown and compare them. Things to consider when you're doing pre-mix versus manual labor to do the decking. For pre-mix, you're just paying per cubic yard for the amount of mixture that you're going to need, and you're also paying the men per cubic yard to let's level off the foundation. Things to consider when you're doing manual labor. So you're finding the materials, right? And some people are gonna tell you say you need certain amount of cement, certain amount of gravel, certain amount of sand, etc. versus other people, right? For my house in particular, which is 534 square feet, it took about 50 bags of cement in order to do the decking. We also needed gravel, we also needed sand. I also had to pay the men for the labor to do it, right? And it was not all done in one day. As a matter of fact, the man them had to do one side and then come back and do the other side. So yeah, whereas pre-mix, everything I get done one time. I remember the cost being like pretty similar. I think I was just saving an extra 10 grand going the option of manual labor. And again, you know, and cost to do the pre-mix versus the manual labor is going to be dependent on the companies that you choose, the men that you choose, how much they're going to cost you, the area that you're in, the relationship you have with those people. A lot of different factors comes into play when it comes to cost. How deep is the foundation? It is 3 feet. Someone also asks, how comes there are no windows in the bathroom if I'm going to use a exhaust fan in order to correct that? So there is no windows in the bathroom because that was a mistake in the design of the house. We thought about using an exhaust fan, but a subscriber recommended using a extractor fan. Now you're probably wondering what is the difference between an exhaust fan and an extractor fan. They both do the same thing. However, extractor fans are better suited for your house. So we are now highly considering going back but it's going to take us some time, going back and putting in an extractor fan. Y'all have left me such great questions and I love them. So what is the total cost associated with building a house in Jamaica? Total cost for me in building a house, which excludes the cost to connect the water, to connect the light, was honestly approximately 3 million Jamaican dollars or 20 USD. Yeah, but no, some of us still don't believe, but that is food business, okay? Remember, so a lot of people that work on the house, we have a relationship with those people. We did a lot of projects ourselves, so a lot of DIYs, right? And so those things are going to play a factor in cutting costs. All right, so now we're going to go into the miscellaneous questions as well as some other general questions on the house. So someone asked if a draftsman is able to submit plans or does it only have to be an architect? Well, great news. Anyone can submit a plan to the municipality. It's just a matter of whether or not that plan is going to be denied or approved. I can imagine that you'd want someone who is reliable and trusted and know them. This is not one of the things that we have a DIY. Leave it alone. So nobody go DIY, nothing to know, you know. I can't know and stay like myself. Well, I'm cut costs. I've gotten this question 3 times. If I can show people how to buy land or where to buy land in Jamaica, let's have a look at heart to heart right now. People, we need to be very careful, especially people from the diaspora, as in like where we get our information from. We cannot just click on every single videos on YouTube just because somebody is advertising land somewhere or advertising a certain development or a real estate company and taking those people's word for what it is. We have to do our own research. If you don't know by now, if this is not your first time on my channel, you know I always preach doing your due diligence, that even the information that I'm giving you, you need to go out there and look for yourself and see what is what. I'm not a realtor and I cannot really suggest good areas for you either to buy land because I don't really know. Watch more time on YouTube and I watch some video and I see people them take out them camera, a video some areas, I tell people them, oh, house for sale. Them people I get mad. You know what she says, I big old get to this. Let's say those are the people that tell the people that for fool though. Make me see people business and allow it alone. But at this moment, I only feel comfortable telling you where I went to find my house in Jamaica. I went on Century 21 JM. I went to various banks platform to see what kind of houses they have up there. I also had my dad search in the newspaper because a lot of times banks advertise houses that are being foreclosed. They run those ads quite frequently in the newspaper, the Gleaner to be specific. You can also look at the Gleaner online because I did that as well. You don't have to just look at it in the physical paper. Okay, someone also asked, did I go to school for this? Sir, I'm just a girl. I hold a master's in education, okay? Like, please understand, I don't hold no degree in architectural design. No, me never do TD in a school, none of them something. The only thing we do is visual. The only thing I did in school was visual arts. I'm never good for them something there. You hear me say? I've just documented my experience building my house in Jamaica and is just shared with everyone the things that I went through, the mistakes that I've made, the tips that I have, and so that you can build your house to your liking. Do I own the land? Yeah, I guess you can say I own the land. You also need approval from the municipality for start build. You know, so some of the people are unruly already and they're not getting approval for start build no way, but just know say even if for 30 years you take them for final, they're gonna find no or not they're gonna ask no for not down on a property. Alright, so do what you want to do with that information. Once you get an approval, you get something that is called a notice of intent to carry out building, and you are in a period of contestation where your neighbors can basically go to them and tell them whether or not they want you to build. Can you imagine have your material ready for build, only for you say you can't build because your neighbor don't want you to build? The other thing that I've been asked is whether or not I'm going to rent the property. Yes. You know, who's to tell if it's not rent already? Those are all the questions that I have for you right now. Continue to leave comments on the videos with your question. Yes, you can continue to DM me. I'll try as best as possible to answer the DMs. Remember, I'm not an expert at these things. I'm just someone who tried a thing and it seemed to work out. If you got to this part in the video, just please allow me 1 minute to basically highlight a comment that I received that really and truly was super encouraging. And it is a comment on the video that I posted maybe last week where I talked about some of the businesses that I did in Jamaica and the US that were not as successful as I'd wanted them to be. And that comment couldn't have came as a better time where I was really thinking to myself, like, honestly, what may I do for YouTube? So just to see Miss Ronnie just say like me sharing the struggles or failures that I have in businesses is just really encouraging for other people to just keep trying and keep going. I just really want to take the time to let you all know that your comments are really keeping me going. I laugh a lot. My love laugh from morning, but some of the comments actually just like make my day, and so I am grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for liking the videos, subscribing, viewing. Even if I 10 hours over here I watch a video them, I'm still grateful. With that being said, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.